Okay, so here we have our application, and really often, well, in most web applications, you will want to have a footer on the end of your page. So how can we accomplish it? Well, we can go to our application HTML and try to add something under yield. So here we have yield, and we'll add some kind of content here. And it will be right under this yield. Now you see it is inside the container. I can also move it out of the container, or I can even try to move it out of the body. And it is also here. But how can we make this content always be on the very bottom of the page, no matter how big the page is? Not after the content, but on the end of the page. Well, here is again a small tip that I've got. We are going to copy this CSS code, and we're going to paste it inside of assets, style sheets. And now by default, we have application.css. We're going to rename it to application as CSS. And here on the bottom, we're going to post this code. And again, now we've got a head, a body, and we are integrating a new footer class. So we're going to add footer, and we're going to add footer content right here. Now we'll refresh, and you see the footer content is always on the very end of the page, on the bottom of the page. It is dynamic no matter how big our page is. So looks much better in my opinion. Now you can make the footer like this and customize it any way you want. For example, you can have a link to the, let's say, privacy policy. Here we have our privacy policy. Let's add a link to it in the footer. So we would add maybe also a container class to the footer. So footer class container. And we can also add a small break so that there is some space. And we can also add some kind of special color like a dark background, so background dark to the footer. Now it doesn't look really nice. We can make the footer background full length. Let's make it like this. Footer class background dark. Okay, and after this we're going to have a div with a class container. And inside this div, we are going to have the footer content. Okay, now we can also add a few breaks. Like this, for example. Or what if we try to add a paragraph on the bottom and on top of the footer content. Or just like this. Now, like this. Okay. And we can change the color of the text. You see the background is dark and the text is also black. So we have background dark and text can be light, for example. Okay. And what if we add a link to the privacy policy? We will have equals link to privacy policy, and it's going to be privacy policy path. If this is the correct path, yeah, the path is correct. And you see, we're always going to have this link to the privacy policy on the bottom of our page. So looks fine in my opinion. Now, of course, you can make this footer wider. We can add an additional row. Okay. We can add the footer content, row, or maybe break with a paragraph. And you see, we can make this footer as wide as we would like. And looks already quite fine. So that's it for this lesson. We've just added some tiny CSS, and here we've added a new footer into our application HTML, into our main layout for the application. And really, this is the easiest solution that I found in the whole internet for making a sticky footer that is always on the end of the page. So that's it. Thank you.